Have you ever wondered if someone loves you but is simply just too afraid to say it out loud? It's a super common dilemma. Fear of rejection, complicated social dynamics, or just plain shyness can keep people silent. But here's what we really need to understand. Love isn't always expressed through words. In fact, according to psychology, people very often reveal their absolute deepest feelings through subtle, subconscious behaviors that they don't even realize they're showing. Throughout this explainer, we're going to explore 7 distinct psychological signs that someone may secretly love you, and we've broken these down into 3 phases to help you decode these behaviors.
Phase 1. The pull of attention. How emotional investment alters focus. So, before love is a big declaration, it actually starts as a shift in mental energy. Early emotional connection fundamentally rewires where a person naturally directs their attention, which brings us to sign number 1, they remember the smallest details. When someone truly cares about you, their brain naturally pays way more attention to any information related to you. The science here is that emotional importance actively strengthens memory. Basically, their brain tags interactions with you as high-priority data. Because of this subconscious rewiring, we naturally remember details about the people who truly matter to us. Think about it. They might suddenly recall your exact favorite coffee order, some random story you told them months ago, or even the name of your childhood pet. If someone remembers these little things without ever being reminded, it's not just a good memory at work, it's a highly meaningful sign of early emotional investment. And that heightened attention naturally translates right into action. Have you ever noticed them reaching out for small or even entirely unnecessary reasons? Maybe they're sending you a funny meme out of the blue. Maybe they text just to ask how your day went. Or maybe they constantly create random excuses just to keep a conversation going. Well, what psychology tells us here is that this isn't actually about the topic they're bringing up. Reaching out like this is really about maintaining a connection. People who secretly love someone are constantly looking for opportunities to stay emotionally present in your life, creating this steady drip of interaction that keeps the bond alive.
Sign number 3 is a really fascinating discovery in the field of psychology. Mirroring. This is a psychological phenomenon where people subconsciously copy the posture, the gestures, or the expressions of someone they feel deeply connected to. And they do this entirely without realizing it. It's this automatic physical alignment driven by our evolutionary need to bond and show empathy. Mirroring naturally helps create emotional closeness, signaling safety and understanding, and it happens incredibly naturally between people who share strong feelings. Let me show you what this actually looks like in practice.
Imagine you're sitting right across the table from this person, just engaged in a great conversation. You're talking, the energy is really good, and you naturally lean forward.
Well, they lean forward too. If you smile, they smile. If you cross your arms, they might adjust their posture to match. This subconscious physical rhythm is a direct reflection of a growing emotional closeness. It's basically their brain's automatic way of signaling, we are in sync, I am aligned with you.
Phase 2. The empathy shift. Moving beyond attention to genuine care.
As the connection deepens, that surface-level focus transforms into something much warmer and far more profound. It's no longer just about paying attention to you. It's about actively caring for your inner world. Sign number 4 introduces a term psychologists call compassionate love. This is when another person's well-being and happiness become emotionally important to you. Someone who secretly loves you isn't only interested in just spending time with you. They genuinely want to see you succeed. This manifests as them stepping up to celebrate your achievements, actively encouraging your goals, and, crucially, checking on you when you're going through a stressful time. Your happiness literally becomes intertwined with theirs.
And because of that deep, compassionate love, we see sign number 5 emerge. They notice changes in your mood before you say a single word. Strong emotional attachment makes a person highly sensitive to even the absolute slightest shifts in your emotions. Because they've studied you so closely, they know your exact emotional baseline. They're so tuned in that they can detect a micro shift in your facial expression, a slight change in your tone of voice, or just a general drop in your energy level long before anyone else in the room even picks up on it.
And because they notice those subtle shifts, they'll often ask you this simple yet profoundly powerful question. Are you okay? They ask this before you even have the chance to bring up what's bothering you. This level of emotional awareness, this ability to read your unexpressed feelings, reflects incredibly deep care and empathy. It proves they're paying attention not just to your words, but to your spirit.
Phase 3, the ultimate proof. Time, trust, and dropping the mask.
So the crucial point is, this final phase represents the absolute strongest indicators of genuine emotional attachment, and it brings us to a very simple truth. People prioritize what matters most. Look, everyone says they're busy, right? But psychology shows us that someone who secretly loves you will consistently find ways to make time for you, even if their schedule is completely packed. Love shows itself through consistent effort, rather than massive one-off grand gestures. It might just be a short phone call on their commute, a quick message during a crazy workday, or choosing to spend just a few quiet minutes together after a long, exhausting day. Making that time is a deliberate, powerful choice that proves where their priorities truly lie.
Which brings us to the seventh, and perhaps the absolute strongest psychological sign of all, emotional safety. When people feel deeply connected, they drop the mask. Emotional safety means stopping the pretending. It means they're willing to share their deepest fears and their biggest dreams with you. They willingly reveal their insecurities, taking the real risk of looking imperfect, and they show you their true, authentic personality, flaws and all.
This is huge because vulnerability requires trust, and trust is one of the strongest foundations of love. When someone feels safe enough to be completely themselves around you, completely vulnerable without fear of judgment, it reflects a profound, undeniable emotional bond. It's the ultimate proof that you hold a uniquely special place in their psychological world.
Reading the hidden patterns, why single behaviors aren't enough.
Okay, it is incredibly important to ground ourselves with a quick reality check here. No single behavior that we've discussed today proves that someone is secretly in love with you all on its own. People express affection in very different ways. On one side, you have guessing games. This is when you rely on single, isolated behaviors, like, someone leaning forward once or remembering one specific detail and then trying to decipher their entire emotional state from that single data point. That usually leads straight to anxiety and confusion. On the other side, you have healthy relationships. These are built on observing consistent patterns over time. More importantly, healthy relationships rely on open communication, mutual respect, and trust. If you observe these consistent patterns, well, that's your foundation to open up clear, honest communication rather than just continuing to guess in the dark.
So I want to leave you with this final thought to apply to your own life. Which of these signs have you actually noticed? Have you seen the sudden memory for small details, the subconscious mirroring? What about that deep emotional safety? Think about the consistent patterns of behavior in your own life and the relationships around you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep observing those hidden patterns.